Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss the next essential element of a valid contract, that is capacity of parties. So we are discussing about the essentials of a valid contract. All the points we are going to discuss in detail, and the next essential is capacity of parties. So whenever the parties enter into a contract or agreement, those parties should have capacity to enter into contract or agreement. Those parties should have competence. So in order that a contract should be a valid contract, the parties to the contract must have capacity. That means they should be competent to enter into contract or agreement. Section 11 of Indian Contract Act deals with competency of parties. So Section 11 tells us about who is competent to contract and who are incompetent to contract. So according to Section 11, following persons are incompetent to contract. So they do not have the capacity to enter into contract or agreement, and if they enter into contract or agreement, that contract will be void ab initio. That means from the beginning that contract will be void, means not enforceable by law. Now, who are incompetent to contract? The first is minor, person of unsound mind. The person whose mind is not sound mind, he is a person of unsound mind. And persons disqualified by law to which they are subject, means the persons who have been disqualified by law to which they are subject, means which law is applicable to them, that law disqualifies them from entering into contract or agreement. Such persons are incompetent to contract. So when such type of persons, that means minor, person of unsound mind and disqualified persons, when they enter into contract, such contract will be void. Void means not enforceable by law. Now, who are who are competent to contract? So Contract Act says that every person is competent to contract. The condition is that provided who is of age of majority. A person who is of age of majority, he is competent to contract. Person who is of sound mind, and person who is not disqualified from making a contract, such people are competent to contract. So who are incompetent? Minor, person of unsound mind and disqualified persons. Who are competent? Exactly opposite to that. Major person, person of sound mind and not disqualified. Who is not disqualified? Now one by one we are going to talk about these incompetent persons in detail. Now first kind of incompetent person is minor. Who is minor? Who decides the age of majority? So it is mentioned in Indian Majority Act. So according to Indian Majority Act of 1875, a minor is one who has not completed his or her 18th year of age. That person is called as minor. So age of majority differs from country to country. In India, when a person attains age of majority, so when he completes 18th year of age, the person becomes major. Usually asked question for 2 marks in section A. Define minor or who is a minor. If you remember year of Indian Majority Act, write it. Otherwise, just if you write a minor is a person who is below 18 years of age or who has not completed 18 years of age, that much definition is enough for getting 2 marks. Now, why this provision is made, that minors agreement, whenever a minor enters into an agreement, that contract is void ab initio. Why this provision is made? So it is considered that a minor has an immature mind. The minor cannot think or minor cannot judge what is good or bad for him. Minor cannot take a mature decision. Therefore, there are likely chances that minors may be exploited by others. The people who enter into contract with minor, they may exploit the minors, they may cheat the minors. Therefore, it is necessary that the law should protect the interest of the minors, and for protecting minors from being exploited by other people, this provision has been made in the Contract Act that whenever a minor enters into an agreement or contract, that agreement will be void, not enforceable by law. Now there are certain rules relating to minors agreement. This point is very important, rules relating to minors agreement. In these rules, we are going to study two case laws, and these points are often asked for 5 marks. First point is an agreement with or by minor is void. Second point, no ratification. Minor can be a promisee or beneficiary. No estoppel against minor. No specific performance except in certain cases. Liability for torts. No insolvency. Partnership. Minor can be an agent. Minor cannot bind parent or guardian. Joint contract by minor and adult. Surety for a minor. Minor as shareholder. Liability for necessaries. So there are in all 14 points, and these points are usually asked for 5 marks. So no need to explain all the points. Few important points you can explain, other points just you can mention those points. So for 5 marks this answer will be very lengthy. Now first point, one by one we are going to discuss these points in detail. First point, an agreement with or by a minor is void. So an agreement with a minor. So someone else enters into an agreement with a minor, or by a minor. Minor enters into an agreement with someone else. Both the agreements are void, not enforceable by law. As per Section 10, Section 10 says that the parties to a contract must be competent. So in order that an agreement should be a valid contract, it is necessary that the parties to the contract must have the competency. And Section 11 says that minor is incompetent or minor is not competent. So there is a leading case law on this point that a contract by minor is void ab initio. Ab initio means from the beginning. The moment the agreement is entered into, the contract is entered into, that contract is void, not enforceable by law. So leading case law means from that point or from that case, it has been fixed, it has been decided that minor's agreement is void ab initio. So which is the case law on this point? Very famous case law, very important case law. Mohiri Bibi versus Dharmodash Ghosh. So this case was decided in the year 1903. So what are the facts or what are the facts of this case law? So in short we will discuss. Never they ask you the case law or to tell about the facts of the case, but usually they give you similar facts and they ask you what will be the consequences of this contract. So in this case what had happened, a minor, there was a person A who was a minor. He borrowed 20,000 rupees from B. So he went to a money lender, he was in need of money and he took 20,000 rupees, he borrowed 20,000 rupees, and by way of security, he executed a mortgage. Now mortgage means whenever immovable property like bank, like building or land etc. are kept by way of a security, that is called as mortgage. So minor who was in need of money, he went to a money lender. He kept his property by way of a mortgage, by way of a security, immovable property, and borrowed 20,000 rupees from a money lender B. Minor A, he became major a few months later. After borrowing 20,000 rupees, few months after that, he became major. And that minor, after becoming a major, filed a case against the money lender for declaration that the mortgage which he had made during his minority, it should be declared as void, and that mortgage itself should be cancelled. See, minor who was in need of money, he went to a money lender, he executed a mortgage deed, he made a mortgage deed, he kept his immovable property by way of a security through by that mortgage deed, and after becoming major, he filed a suit that the mortgage which I had made during my minority, that should be cancelled and it should be declared as void. Now, it was held by the court that a mortgage which was made by the minor, it was void, not enforceable, because it was a contract between him and moneylender, and the minor's contract or agreement is totally void. Therefore, the mortgage which was made by the minor during his minority was void, and B, moneylender was not entitled for repayment of money. So whenever anybody who enters into contract or agreement with a minor, that person suffers a loss.